What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Dixon Motor Vehicle channel. The best father and son YouTube auto enthusiast channel on all of YouTube. I am Jeff Dixon, Isaiah has the camera, and on this channel we show you how we build an awesome Miata with simple hand tools like grinders and welders. And if you like the sound of that, like, follow, subscribe, leave a comment, help support the channel. Okay, let's talk about it. In this episode, we're gonna get our steering column all sorted out. Now, we are using the factory steering column, and I'm not sure how far I'm gonna take that. Don't know if we're gonna keep the key. Don't know if we're gonna keep the blinkers. We may just shave the thing all off. But I know what I do want is the stock steering column. I wanna paint it, clean it up. But because of the seats that we have, those deep butt-hugging seats, you have to have a removable steering column. And I know steering wheel. You have to have a removable steering wheel. And I know you guys have probably seen the guys take off their steering wheel and hang their arm out the window while they're driving with the steering wheel. And we definitely want to do that because I think that's really cool and awesome. So that's definitely on our list of things to do. So the stock steering wheel is here. The shaft, the spline shaft that goes on is here, and somehow we have to get our strange quick disconnect on there. So this is required for most racing rules. Is that the right word? Probably not. They do require this, but the problem we're going to have is we have a male spline shaft, and it's male on this end, and we have a male on this end. And so somehow we've got to cut that off, do what we got to do, yada, 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 weld it up. I'm not sure how all that's going to work out. We're just going to have to figure it out as we go, which is what we do best because we don't have a plan. I did look on the Googles. I found nothing. I found nothing about this other than buying one that fits that. But first thing we need to do is get the steering column back in the car for the 1000th time. Try to center our wheels, make sure they're where they need to be before we start getting this all lined out and try to figure it out. So with that, let's get to work. Wait. The first thing's not putting this in the car. The first thing's getting this thing cleaned up and painted. And before we do that, we got to figure out what we're going to shave off. Now, I think I like the key. I think it's kind of cool. You don't see it a lot in race cars. I think it's fun. And it does provide some security because it locks the column, and we could actually use it to start the ignition. So I think we'll leave the ignition cylinder and get rid of the clock spring, the blinkers, the windshield wipers, all that stuff. So the first thing we got to do is clean this thing up, get it painted, then put it in the car. Now let's get to work. Alright, we got the steering column in. Now we have to find the center-ish of the tire. So we're going to roll a jack it up, maybe put some jack stands on it so we can... And eventually we're going to align the front end, and that's going to be good. Okay, we've got the jack stands under it. Everything's seated real good so it doesn't fall. Safety is our main concern. Absolute safety. But now we'll be able to align the front tires, align the steering column. Then when we figure out how to get our adapter on the steering column, however that's going to work out, we can make sure, you know, the tires are lined up with the steering wheel as best as we can. Ish. It's good. Ah, don't have to record everything. Centered with the rack and marked. We have two problems we need to solve, and I have no idea how we're going to do it. But we have to get our quick connector. So this is spline, there is a top to it. That way your steering wheel always goes on in the straight position. That's why we had to find, you know, up and down. But how do you get this on there? I have no clue. But what I'm thinking is we're going to cut this off, find a piece of DOM that fits this, and slide it on there. And I think it'll be that simple. Now I dug through our scrap metal. We have nothing even close to being that small and that substantial. Then once you do find the DOM, how do you get all this centered and make sure that when you turn your wheel doesn't wobble? So that's our first obstacle to overcome, and I honestly have no idea what we're going to do. And the second one to overcome is we've got a big hole in the firewall around the steering column shaft, and we can't have that. I don't want that. So what I think we're going to do on that, pretty easy solution, we're going to find a sleeve that fits really tight on the steering column shaft. I don't know what it is. I have no idea. And then we're going to glue that sleeve with something. I don't freaking know. We're going to glue that sleeve in there. And that way you'll have a seal between your firewall, your engine bay, and your cockpit of your car, the cabin. But those are two things I have no idea what we're going to do. And third big important problem, we got to go get lunch. So while we're out going to get lunch, we'll look for these fiddly bits and see if we can come back and make it happen. Alright, quick run, quick trip to the farm store, had a quick lunch. But we found everything we need. We have a steel bushing that fits on here really well. Hardened steel bushing. We're going to have to cut this off, slide that on, weld it, yada yada yada. Keep this from, you know, when you steer you don't want it to be wonky when this turns. And then this doesn't fit on here. So we'll have to somehow chuck this up. I don't know what we're going to do. We don't have a lathe. That won't fit in my drill press, so maybe we can slide something through it, chuck this up, and take a flat file to it, and file it down where it fits in there, then weld it up. So I think that's going to be what we're going to do on this end. And then this end, where it goes through the firewall, we've got a steel, it's a brass sleeve, which brass is perfect. And man, it fits so snug, so that'll keep any smoke or fire from coming in the cab, and then being brass, it'll never galled up on that. And what my plan with this is just to shove it in there, hold it in place, and then put some polyurethane caulk around it. Basically, it's like shoe goo, believe it or not, but a polyurethane caulk around that to hold it in place, and that'll seal up our steering column, steering shaft from the engine bay. But that's it. I think it's going to all go good. I think the only trick is going to be figuring this out. So let's see what we can do. Let's get it. That was too easy! It never goes this good. All right, that went incredibly well. I love it. So that's fitting good. I left a gap. We're going to weld right in there. Try to make a nice weld. We'll try to spin it as we weld. We cut the threaded part of our steering column off. And now the problem is we've got slop. So how do we center this and get it good and welded? And I have an idea. And it may be a terrible idea. It may be a good idea. But my thought is we lock the column down with the clamp right there so it doesn't move. Then somehow we center this. I got no idea how, but where you can turn it and it stays centered. Well, that's got wobble in it. See that wobble? Beats me. Somehow we got to figure this out. Basically like a bench top lathe or something kind of in where we can hold it. Then we can get it locked in place, and as I'm welding it, Isaiah can turn it and I can yell at him, faster, slower, don't be an idiot, and we'll get it done. I think I got it. It's a little janky, but that's what you came to see, right? So we're gonna just start with the tack, spin it, see how centered it is, go from there. I don't know what else to do. So I did something really stupid. I got carried away grinding and probably really shouldn't even tried to grind my welds and clean them up, except they got a little ugly because I suck at welding. But I ground that collar down, I think, too thin, and I don't like it, and I think I'm gonna have to cut it off and do it again. So there's that. Let's cut it off, Isaiah. Okay, we got it all back apart. That's a pretty freaking big, stupid, dumb mistake. Now we gotta go back to the farm store and get another one. Okay, back from the farm store. Take two, we got all our parts. This time, I'm gonna set it up a little bit different. Almost the same, but I don't think it's gonna be too hard. We did, you know, we learned lessons. Mistakes were made, lessons were learned. Moving on. At least it was a cheap lesson. And I think the moral of the story really is, it's just metal. Don't stress too much. But don't be an idiot. All right, guys, that's it. We got it all put together. It went pretty well. Getting that brass sleeve and finding that really worked out good. Finding that steel hardened sleeve at the Tractor Supply, what a find. We did screw up, had to cut one off, put it back on, but all in all, it worked out great. The Strange Quick Connect works really well, although it's a little goofy. I don't understand why it doesn't have the key centered up so that you always know when it's up, the steering wheel goes up, but whatever. It's all lined up. We've got our lock-to-lock centered. Now we need to do a front end and a rear end alignment. But other than that, this project's done. It turned out really great, and we have less than 200 bucks in it. So pretty happy with that. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, support the channel. We'll see you next time.